A very common question I come across is that if twin flames are a delusion or not. And to answer this question, you have to actually see it completely differently. So we have to do two things. First, we have to identify twin flames as it's a phenomena that people use when they feel something very different towards another person. And in reality, it's something that we cannot measure. It's not something like water or that you pour it in, and if it's 3 deciliters, it's a twin flame. If it's less, it's not. It's an internal experience, and every internal experience is subjective. And it's going to be somewhat different for everyone, but there is something in it that everyone agrees that it's very different from anything they have ever experienced. And another part of it is that it's very addictive. They cannot get out of it. And of course, many people are going to be incorrect if it's a twin flame or not, but that's not important. I always tell it in all of my videos that you shouldn't focus on that. You should focus on one thing. If that relationship is toxic, if that relationship is abusive, because it doesn't matter if that person is your twin flame or not, if that person is, I always use Brad Pitt or not, or Leonardo DiCaprio, or you pick whoever you want, you only have to pay attention to one thing. If that relationship makes you hurt, makes you abused, but you don't go anywhere, you are just stuck in the same loop over and over and over in your own rigidity, in your own self-limiting beliefs, that relationship is a waste of your time and your energy. It doesn't matter if that person is who or what, you need to be able to move away. That relationship is not healthy for you. Because unfortunately, many times people actually use twin flames as a validation for their codependency. And it can be, I'm looking for my true love, I found the one. These are just different terms to be stuck in a relationship that is toxic and abusive, but there is something in that person you cannot explain. And that's that you feel that connection in the body, that emotional connection, but on the head level you are too different, you don't understand what is happening, and you cannot move away. So instead of working on yourself, working on the head, you actually looking for signs, looking for videos that validate your behavior that is actually codependency to that partner. And this is where it's a delusion that you are with a person who is not good for you. And this is where the second part comes in, that your real twin flame is actually within you. That's your real twin flame. Those are your repressed parts that you cannot see. And your twin flame, the external one, can actually trigger these parts up that's in the body, because that is coming from your attachment system. Those are your childhood wounds, and they actually recreate that childhood trauma you had with your opposite gender parent. And this is where it is that it doesn't matter if you meet your twin flame or not, and the person is your twin flame or not. Again, if you cannot change, it makes no difference, because the true purpose of a twin flame is to wake you up. That's how they do. They re-trigger that part so it comes to the surface, because when you were a little kid, the head part wasn't fully active, you weren't fully aware, so you made wrong decisions, you made wrong thoughts and body-mind connection. And this is what the twin flame tries to do, that connects the body to the mind. And this is how the twin flame chaser and runner are, that the chaser is going to be a more body-based, more connected to the emotions, and the opposite of that is going to be the runner, who is more connected to the head but less connected to the emotion. And the healthy person is that you are equally connected, both of you, the body and the mind. And this is what the nervous system, so it's a nervous system communication, that it feels the attraction to your opposite. And this is where the oppositeness is, that this is the healthy integration, and one of you is on one side and the other one is going to be exactly on the other side. So what happens is that if you are very, very insecure, very, very unhealthy on this side, the other person is going to be exactly as insecure and exactly as unhealthy. So what you can do is you work on yourself to be closer to this healthy one, because as soon as you change, you see, this is not going to be your opposite. A healthier person is going to be your opposite. And your twin flame is, as I said, inside you, and it's an internal or eternal thing, that maybe you meet this person as of now, but the only thing you can do is that you trigger each other a little bit, and then you go into a separation, and maybe you will meet again 5 years time, 10 years time, but maybe it's a different lifetime. You have to see yourself as an eternal being. And twin flame connection is not like, okay, there is this idealized person, and when I meet this person, I'm going to get full love and I'm going to be happy. It's not about that. It's a soul accelerator, and that's why it's twin flame, because it kind of burns all of these old wounds out of you, but in a way that that person is going to re-trigger. But it's your duty, it's your responsibility to integrate it, because you are the only one who can make those connections, because you have your head. Your twin flame doesn't have your head. You are that person, because you have to be re-triggered in order to self-integrate. And this is what you are doing. This is what all of us are doing. And that is what the real twin flame connection is. That when you know what is happening, and that's when it's going to be valuable for you, that the twin flame triggers on the body level, in a sense that opposites attract, but the head level is going to be working in an opposite way, that similarities attract. That's where you meet the soulmate, that the more similar you are, the better you feel. It feels really good because you feel understood. You feel that you have met long time ago because you are so similar. So basically the person is you in another body. But the difference is going to be with a soulmate and a twin flame, that a soulmate gives this deep understanding, deep love, but as soon as the relationship becomes physical, there is no spark. And the twin flame is going to be the opposite, that on the body level there is a huge chemistry, huge spark, and it gives that addiction because it stirs up your energies, it stirs up your neurotransmitters, your hormones, that has an addictive quality with lots of oxytocin and dopamine and all of these addictive hormones and neurotransmitters within you. But on the head level, you will disagree, and that's where the abuse is coming from. And what you have to really look for to integrate within, because as soon as you integrate within, the relationship is going to have a very different path, and you won't see the abuse as abuse anymore. That you learn about different personality types, you learn about different attachment types, and I always recommend the 4 attachment types as your basis to understand your own blind spots, to understand your own wounds, and understand your partner's wounds, because as soon as you change, your reactions are going to change, your behavior is going to change, so your partner's reactions are going to change as well. And at the same time, you will see the exact same relationship very, very differently. And many times what happens, you will move away because you will recognize that, oh my God, this relationship has no future. because the reason of a twin flame connection, again, to wake you up and self-integrate, to give you self-love. And many times self-love is that you recognize that this relationship is unhealthy and you move away to give yourself another chance, and you will actually completely forget about this labeling. If this person is a twin flame or if she is not, you are going to looking for a completely different person, and it's going to be an emotionally mature person. See you in my next video.